My favorite part of dancing is when you can do it without limitation. I have been through a lot of physical trauma over the years. That's my challenge, and that's also part of my healing. It's part of my journey as a plus size person. This is who I am in true nature of balance. You have light and dark, and that's kind of how I see myself as an artist. I'm known by day as Talia Shenandoah and by night as Harlow Holiday. When I started doing burlesque, Harlow is everything that Talia wanted to be. And I don't know where Talia ends and Harlow begins. I've just been a glamour addict since I could understand things. I'd probably toddler age. I was walking around in my grandma's heels way before I should have been. My grandmother was very stylish, and she was very much my role model. I just liked that really well put together, really refined kind of powerful woman. I feel like my childhood wasn't the easiest. I mean, I'm sure everybody could say that, but I feel like one of those kids that has a lot of energy, that just wants to be seen and heard and loved. And for a long time, I didn't feel that. I remember when I was 4, I was at a wedding and I was dancing and being silly, and someone had recorded this. Somebody had found the video at my grandma's house, and I was sitting around with some cousins and aunts and uncles or whatever, and we're watching this video and being, all nostalgic and having these memories. And I remember them laughing at me, really making fun of me, 'cause I wasn't a good dancer. I didn't have rhythm. And, now I'm oh, poor little me. But at that time, I remember being young and still impressionable and feeling like it was really hurtful for them to kind of make fun of the way that I was moving, because I knew that in those moments I felt joy and freedom. I just kind of put it away for a long time. But then I started to hear about Dita Von Teese.
She's the femme fatale striptease superstar.
She was starting to kind of really come to fame around that time.
We can still be respected and considered intelligent. We can also love striptease.
She had this very vintage vibe, and she was very classic and very glamorous, very sparkly, and it reminded me of those things that I saw in my grandmother and the movies that I loved. To see the different body types, that's when I realized, okay, so this isn't something that you have to be a cookie cutter version of anything. This is accessible to you too. The first person that we had as a troupe member, and actually he was the only person who showed up to our audition, was a ballerina, a black male who had these skills, to be on a point shoe and to play feminine roles is not something that you really see in ballet. So I knew that was special, a reflection of things that people don't think should be possible. I say family, and we are, but this is chosen family. Yes. They see me as a mama. But I just kind of look at them they're my family. They're my best friends. They're my peers. They're my business partners. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't be able to do it without them.
No, you shush. No, I'm not done talking. I'm speaking.
The challenges that COVID has presented, it was such a shocking thing for everything in the world to kind of stop. But I think what hit us the hardest and hurt the most is that literally 2 weeks before the world stopped, we just had the biggest show we'd ever had. our annual show at the Palace Theater. For some, it was like a death, like mourning a loss so huge of like getting to a point where you feel like you're in your prime and you're understanding who you are and you have this amazing outlet that's helping you to be the best you, and then completely having the rug swiped from underneath you and having absolutely no idea what this is going to mean for the future.
As you may know, the Fire and Ice Ball has become an annual staple in Syracuse, New York, growing in size and strength with the passing of each year. While 2020 brought us a whole new set of challenges, we are certain that 2021 brings a whole new set of perspectives and perseverance. Yay, that's good enough.
Working through COVID has been, for a lot of us, is trying to get back in touch with ourselves and figure out, how do I get back to feeling like I love this? So this is where people are like learning how to be their own, cinematographer. Like, you have to record yourself. You have to learn how to edit yourself. You have to kind of figure your concept in a different way. Like, there's all these different things. And some people are able to rise to that challenge and some people weren't.
We're good.
COVID brought a special set of challenges, but I think ultimately it's been helpful in helping us figure out what our goals are and what we want, and helps us grow as artists. So I'm, ultimately I'm thankful for it, even if it hurt a whole lot.
I'm so happy.
I like this virtual. I'm kind of a little scared.
I know,
to
me
go
too,
back
'cause
to
I kinda
like
love
the
this.
normal
Really?
on stage.
See, I miss that. I do.
For the future, we don't really know what's going to happen. So ideally, I think what would be really nice is to see an atmosphere where you have digital art and you have live performers. You get both. You get the best of both worlds. Another part of like what burlesque has done for me is like trying to get over the fear of holding myself back, the fear of what people are going to say about how I'm moving or how I look. I'm like that big glamorous idiot over in the corner, like doing something ridiculous, just trying to get you to smile, because joy is important, and like laughter is important, and connections and experiences are important, and you can change people's lives with like even some things that you feel like are small can mean something big to someone else. So finding ways to make people feel joy or experience joy with you, I think that's a big part of like being an artist and being a performer. Okay, so if I was gonna describe Harlow Holiday in 3 words, vivacious would certainly be the first one, proud, and nurturing. Being the mama, being proud of who I am and where I come from, and I'm certainly vivacious in all the ways. If I was going to describe Talia in 3 words, I would say creative, sensitive, and thoughtful. I am always thinking about how I can impact other people's lives and wanting to bring joy to their lives ultimately. So thoughtful, I think, is probably a good way to sum that up.
girls should enjoy their youth in a wholesome sort of way.